Straight from the best fishing locations in the world, featuring Wade Middleton, Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter, presents The Fisherman's Handbook. The Fisherman's Handbook is a legendary series of how-to fishing trips designed to help you become a better angler. Each week, top pros will walk with you along the aisles of Cabela's retail stores and help you flip the pages of the Cabela's catalog to show you what you need and how to get you ready to go fishing. That's all ahead on today's Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook. Given the correct conditions and the time of year, sight fishing can prove to be not only an effective tactic for putting fish in the boat, but it's quite possibly one of the most exciting and rewarding ways to catch fish.
I think in sight fishing, it's one of the most exciting ways to fish outside of a topwater because you can actually see what the fish is doing, and you can learn a lot about how fish react and you know, respond to certain presentations, to your hops, to your when you're dragging a bait, to when you're shaking it, to when you make a bad flip, to when they swim off, to when they stay. And each one of those actions or types of responses will tell you certain things to do when you're just blindly fishing at that same time of the year when the fish are up shallow, because there's a lot of times when you're actually just blind casting a soft plastic during the springtime, you're catching fish on a bed, you just don't know it. But when you can see that fish react while he's on a bed and be able to take that same kind of presentation to your blind cast, a lot of times it's going to help you put more fish in the boat.
First and foremost, in order to sight fish, one must see the fish. This is probably the hardest part of the entire equation. You're basically looking for a fish against a background that he's chosen for his own comfort. Because of this, you're often looking for a needle in a haystack, or at the very least, some slight movement to give the fish away. So you need to get a few advantages to help see the fish.
Don't be afraid to spend lots of time staring at the water for these little subtle movements. You'll notice that most sight fishermen will say sunglasses are the key. But if you haven't studied the water movement and the shadows or flashes of what lives below you, you might not ever notice that giant largemouth or other fish laying on a bed waiting for you to feed him. Also, water quality can be your friend in sight fishing. However, it also allows the fish to be able to see you just as well. So keep that in mind anytime you're sight fishing and you're moving into a new area, that you must position yourself to see the fish before he sees you. Last but not least, making long casts can often be a key when enticing fish that you can see. However, you often can't see their full reaction to the bait when you're making those long casts, so that's got to be taken into account when you're trying to figure out when to set the hook. For instance, in red fishing, when you see a school a long way away, that's an advantage because you can power pole down and then pick the fish off one at a time and they don't even know you're there. However, an opposite to that is largemouth bass. They are more often than not found in groups of one or two, not in big schools like you find in redfish when it comes to sight fishing. So you have to set up differently for each cast based on the conditions, and then you make a decision whether you want to be up close or a long way away. Good luck, and let's go sight fishing. Oh yeah! Drop shot fish.
Got her on the drop shot, Wade.
Bring her over here.
Yeah.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter of fishing, hunting, and outdoor gear. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Yamaha Marine, reliability starts here. And by Garmin, we'll get you there. The Fisherman's Handbook will be right back.
Every curve, edge, line, and feature is designed for one quest: to seek, find, follow, and catch fish. It's all part of the Take Charge mission of the Ranger Saltwater Series. Experience the total performance difference at a Ranger dealer today. Whether you're trolling, poling, drifting, anchored, or chasing the tide, these shallow water legends are built to fish as well as fly. Yamaha outboards. You love the water, now own it.
Before you head out here, get ready at Cabela's, your source for the hottest new gear at tough-to-beat prices. Save big on everything you need when you shop by catalog, stores, and online at Cabelas.com. Our legendary selection is field-tested and field-proven. You can trust our gear. Cabela's, world's foremost outfitter.
Nature isn't always serene. It can be outright downright savage. And you need a truck with the teeth to take it head on. Introducing the 2012 Mossy Oak Edition Ram Outdoorsman. Fog lamps, Ram box, Hemi V8, off-road tires, claws, guts, glory, Ram.
Think GPS is just for getting you to the water? Think again. The new iPilot wireless GPS trolling system can hold your boat in place like an electronic anchor. Record and retrace productive fishing paths, automatically keep you on any bearing you choose, and take total command of speed and steering. iPilot controls your boat with wireless GPS precision so you can focus on fishing. And it's only from Minn Kota.
The Yamaha VMAX SHO. First it changed the game. Now it's set the standard. But don't take our word for it.
The whole shot was everything they said it was going to be.
And we accelerated from like 50 miles an hour to 70, and it was like that.
So fast, so quiet. I mean, you give it power, and it's just there.
That thing right there is just bad.
The whole shot on it is second to none.
Oh, yeah, it's for real.
Take a demo ride and feel the power yourself. You'll know why we call it the Game Changer.
Welcome back to the Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook with Wade Middleton. Follow the Fisherman's Handbook on Facebook, where you'll get the behind-the-scenes tips and tactics. And follow along with Wade and the crew as they post pics and updates from their fishing trips. You'll also have a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime fishing trip with Wade to the redfish capital of the world, Venice, Louisiana. Find us on Facebook and click the like button. On a red fishing trip in Venice, Louisiana last year, Wade took Garmin's Ted Gartner out for a little sight fishing.
Nice. That's a fish.
Did you say it's a great?
That's a fish.
I dropped it like 3 feet in front of me, just sat there, and I was like, holy cow, he ate it.
He charged it, man. That's a nice fish.
That's a good one there. That's why you come down to Venice. Sight fishing like this. I mean, we're literally, you know.
We're picking the fish.
Yeah, we're picking the fish, and we're right here by the marina. God, look at the shoulders on that guy.
To me, it's more like hunting than it is fishing, because you're sitting there and you're stalking the fish. You're looking for that exact fish that you want to take, and you pitch that jig down in there, and man, they come at it. The misses are almost as fun as the strikes, because you know, you're standing up there in the bow with Wade or Billy, and you're seeing those fish, and they're coming towards it, and you're like, oh! And whether you hit or miss, it's a ton of fun. It's addictive, and I can see how people come down here and do just that.
Look at that. I mean, you just look out there and everything is alive. Your turn.
All right, I'm ready.
In another part of the Gulf on this same fishing trip, Cabela's Chris Sprangers and Tim Joseph also went out for some sight fishing with Venice Fishing Lodge owner Billy Nicholas.
When you're sight fishing for reds, it's completely different than just blind casting up there. You're actually being patient. You're not making casts. So you can't just throw up in there, you know, and bomb the fish and hit him on the head and expect him to eat it. You know, he's going to spook off. So you got to make that cast, pull that bait by in front of him, hope he turns on it, and them gills flare and he sucks that bait in. I mean, you can watch him eat it. There's nothing better.
I actually saw him hit it. He saw his gills go, whoosh, and then I'm like, there it is. That's as closest to smallmouth fishing as I've seen in the saltwater ever.
Good stuff right there.
One of the things that amazes me about sight fishing for reds is you can certainly fish them the way that you would fish for bass, where they're, you know, a good cast away. But some of these fish, when they're up feeding in the shallows, I'm surprised how short that they will hit. I mean, we were sometimes making casts that were 6-8 feet long, and these fish would just charge in when that lure hit the water, and they would just slam it right off the bat. As bright as they can be when you do see them, you don't see them at first, and all of a sudden they just materialize. This one just kind of materialized, and I was watching that back bay and didn't see him at all.
Just pop up out of nowhere, don't they seem like?
We had a really good time. Tons of fish in there, a bunch of little blue crab, just stuff that I don't get to see in water that I spend a lot of time in freshwater, so it was exciting.
Did he bolt?
No, he's right there. He's right there. See him?
Yep.
He's got it.
No, he doesn't. He was mouthing it. I can still see it. I like the stalk. I mean, when you're looking for fish and you're out there and you've got polarized glasses on and hopefully you've got some good light and some clear water, being able to look down and see these fish. Their fins are kind of iridescent underwater, and they kind of shine a little bit like a penny too once in a while. And boy, it's pretty neat. There's lots of other kinds of life out here too, so it's constantly interesting to be watching down there. Lots of rays. We saw a lot of sheephead today, obviously a lot of reds, some gar. You just never know what you're going to see as you're kind of just going real slow through these backwater bays.
More sight fishing action when the Fisherman's Handbook with Wade Middleton returns. Wade and the Fisherman's Handbook crew have always trusted Ranger boats to get them out on the water, for saltwater and freshwater. Ranger boats are the Fisherman Handbook's boat of choice. Ranger is celebrating 45 years of still building legends one at a time. Let's put your Ranger knowledge to the test. In 2003, Ranger Boats partnered with What Popular Sport to create a new limited series package available on high-performance Comanche and Fisherman designs. For the answer to this question and to learn more about the last 45 years of Ranger boats, visit mydreamrig.com. Lucas Fishing Reel Oil is a special blend of oil and additives, specifically designed to lubricate all moving parts in freshwater and saltwater fishing reels and rust corrosion protection even under the most adverse conditions. The new one-drop applications allow you to put just the right amount of lubricant into hard-to-reach areas. Increase your reel performance with Lucas Oil high-performance products. Learn more at lucasoil.com.
Hobie's Mirage Drive kayaks set the standard for fun on the water. Whether your passion is fishing, sailing, or recreational adventure, Hobie's got a kayak for you. Hobie's Mirage Drive mimics nature's proven designs for efficient and powerful propulsion and enhances your kayaking experience. Mirage Power, Mirage Performance, Mirage Drive. Hobie, enjoy the ride. Hobie kayaks come in the form of lightweight fishing platforms that will offer anyone what they want when it comes time to hit the water. Hobie kayaks' commitment to innovation, quality, and owner satisfaction is unparalleled in the industry. So when it's time for you to go kayaking, remember there's only one name to remember, and that's Hobie Kayak.
The world has never seen a hook like this.
What I thought was good before is not so good now.
The first surgically sharpened fish hook.
This is the best ever.
In test after test, we have proven that anyone can set this new hook with half the effort of any other hook.
That's money.
Introducing the Trocar hook, a weapon for fishermen who aren't just out to catch fish, but are out to win.
Welcome back to the Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook with Wade Middleton. Brought to you in part by Livingston Lures, designed to call the fish to you. Hydrowave, ignite a feeding frenzy. Amphibious sunglasses, performance floating eye gear. And by Laser Trocar, surgically sharpened technology. We've been showing you the ins and outs of sight fishing today, mainly targeting redfish. But now we're heading to our favorite freshwater spot to go after some largemouth bass. Wade and Trocar's Chris Russell are out on the water in Toledo Bend for some sight fishing.
Today we went out and we were focused on sight fishing. The bass are moving up on the beds. We knew it's a little early. They're just starting to really stage up and move up on the beds, so we knew as the day progressed and the weather warmed up, we were just going to keep getting better and better, but lots of sight fishing today.
I just keep looking. There's going to be a big one back here, sitting in this stuff somewhere.
Where was
There's
he
one on the bed right there.
Oh, yeah?
Right there. Come on, go back a little.
There you go.
It's about a little one. Oh, he's back there. That's where these little guys should be.
Stacked up in there, huh? Starting to sit up in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was just a tick and reel into him, and he said, "Ow, Trocar got me."
He went down.
Sight fishing for bass is about tricking them. It's about trying to find the right angle. It's about trying to do the right thing. It's about not scaring that fish. It's about being quick sometimes when they bite them. There's so many things about sight fishing that make it unique over all other types of fishing for bass that it becomes an incredible addiction to just catch that fish. And in fact, it might only be a 10-incher or it might be a 10-pounder that captivates your attention and causes you to lose focus on everything else that's going around you because you want to catch that fish.
Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Real slow, you're doing good. Just keep coming, keep coming. Here comes the male. Keep coming, keep coming. I'd stop it right there. See what they do.
We pulled up in this small cove earlier today, and we hadn't seen a lot of fish on the beds. We came around a little corner, and there they are. There's 2 or 3 fish kind of all milling around, but 2 of them are pretty locked down on a bed. Looks like a big female and a male up in there. We took a couple shots at them, and they were a little spooky, so we moved on, let them rest up, let them get locked down on the bed a little bit more, and then when we came back, the female was right up in position. So the male was still milling around. We took a lot of casts up in there, and sight fishing is fairly new to me, so I was getting kind of schooled a little bit how to make the bait react to the fish, how to read the fish a little bit and move the baits, creep it along or give it a pop or just swing it in and out of the bed. Look for the sweet spot in the bed, if you would, that the fish was really relating to. We worked on him for quite a while. We finally caught the little male, pulled him out, and then the female was very agitated after that. She obviously was on the prowl.
Get back in there and see if we can catch her real quick. That's fun, isn't it? Yeah. Chris is like, somebody's on it! Let's get this and unhook real quick.
Oh, man. Popped in there.
That's good, though. Right, that's that tube hook. You bet. Turn that loose and let's go back in there real quick. That's that tube hook that works great on the tubes. A lot of people talk about losing fish with a tube, but that hook there, you've got a bigger bite and it's easier to rig.
That big wide gap, and then that keeper just holds that tube right in there, everything you want. A little weedless.
Ready to go. Let's see if we can't get back up there.
All right.
I thought that was her biting it. I don't know where he came from.
We kept working away in there, working it in there, trying different things, but it still took us a lot of casts. Finally, it took us total about 40 minutes maybe. We hooked up on that female, worked her out of there, and wow, that was a great time.
Nice fish. Bring him over here, Chris. I'll get him. Here, bring this way, Chris.
Woo!
That's a good one. That's a freaking good one there, buddy.
Man, it paid off.
Look at that tube. Look at that tube hook in there.
Oh my gosh. You got her. Heck
Here,
yeah.
You can grab her. I'll get a picture of it for you.
Heck yeah. Jeez. I was just about to give up. Being able to sight fish that thing, see that 6-pounder come out of there, and just be able to really see how that fish related to the bait and what it took to catch her, to be that dedicated to it, just committed that we're going to catch her before we move on. Really added to a lot of the fun of it. Woo!
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
You can get out here and you can sit there and see them like that. It's one of the most addictive things in the world. I don't care whether it's this big or that big.
Well, we got the little one and then we get the big one off too. Finally, after 100 pitches in there or whatever it was, finally got her though.
Now what? Let's go fly some more.
That's good coaching right there. All right, let's do it.
Wade and Chris can see their targets clearly, and when they connect, they're relying on their equipment to get the fish to the boat. Let's take a closer look at what they're throwing at the bass today. Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook presents In the Line.
We fished 2 different trocar hooks primarily today. The one we were flipping the most was actually the trocar tube hook. We were using a big white heavy body tube so we could see it when we threw it down into the bed, and we could watch the fish, how it related to that bait as it was being pulled through. One of the tough things about a tube is it's such a big, heavy, fat bait. It's got a lot of mass to it, so it slows the fall down. But if you don't have the right hook, it's hard to get a good hook set. And standard, just a round bend worm hook doesn't really give enough. But the trocar tube hook is designed to have a big sweeping bend. It's got a long straight point, which gives it a lot of hooking power, but that big bend in it lets that tube collapse out of the way. So when that fish does pick the bait up, the tube doesn't hinder a good hook set. It's got a big heavy plastic keeper on the front, patented by Trocar as well, which holds that tube perfectly in line. So flip after flip, cast after cast, that bait was always perfectly aligned. So it swam through the water, gave it the most natural presentation possible. And then later in the day, we found another fish. She was a little bit deeper in the water, kind of in an interesting position. You couldn't really cast to her very well. So we flipped over to a drop shot. And the drop shot hook has a lot smaller hook, thin wire, much lighter weight. We were able to use a small little creep tail worm, and then that allowed us to pitch in there and just shake that thing and just really make it stay in the bed for a long period of time. We're using a spinning rod on that, and so we didn't need to get a big hook set. That hook is so sharp in that fine wire, you just feel a little bit of weight, because you couldn't really see or pick up the bait, but you feel a little bit of weight on the end of the rod, and all you had to do was just lean back into it, and you had her hooked up nice and tight.
For more info on any of the products seen on today's show, visit lasertrocar.com. When the Fisherman's Handbook with Wade Middleton returns, Chris comes face to face with a monster bass.
Yes. How about that? I tell you what, a good knife, that is just something that is so valuable to a person in the outdoors that you can't put a value on it. It's just something to know that you've got a sharp knife to be able to get the job at hand done. And not every knife is going to be able to be sharp, be able to get the job done, and be able to handle the tasks that are ahead of it. But I can promise you, the Bubba Blade, it's going to get the job done for you. You know, a lot of times you see things that are out there and you wonder if they're any good. But when you get a good fillet knife in your hand and you've got a pile of fish over it clean and it begins to go through every different cut quickly and easily and effortlessly, you know you're holding something that you're going to like and you're going to be able to use and enjoy. Whether you're cleaning redfish or speckled trout or tuna or whatever it may be, the Bubba Blade has proven itself in the field to be a product that I like, will use, and will have on my boat when it comes time to go fishing for a long time to come.
So check out our website to order your Bubba Blade today.
Second to you again, bud.
Tell you what, next tournament, I won't use my hydro wave.
I don't believe you, so you know what, bud? I'm taking it with me.
Go ahead.
Thanks, bud. You know what, Kevin, he actually may be pulling for me.
He's nuts if he thinks I'm giving up my hydro wave. What a squirrel.
With a great history in drag racing, and now into the marine market, Lucas is proud to offer an ethanol treatment for a wide range of boat motors on the market today. Lucas Safeguard Ethanol Fuel Conditioner with stabilizers was developed to specifically address issues associated with using ethanol-based fuels. Increase your mileage and performance with Lucas Oil High Performance products. Learn more at lucasoil.com. Welcome back to the Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook with Wade Middleton. Wade is on the Toledo Bend Reservoir with Laser Trocar's Chris Russell sight fishing for largemouth bass.
You know, a few things about sight fishing, and I've had an opportunity to fish with some great sight fishermen over the years, and it's being patient. Patience is the #1 thing when it comes to sight fishing. There's probably no one magical bait out there that's always going to catch them at every given time. But it's that patience of being able to present that bait and finding the one that they want to bite at that particular time.
We pulled up in this small cove earlier today, and there they are. There's 2 or 3 fish kind of all milling around, but 2 of them are pretty locked down on a bed. We worked on them for quite a while. We finally caught the little male, pulled him out, and then finally, it took us total about 40 minutes maybe. We hooked up on that female, worked her out of there, and wow, that was a great time.
There, buddy.
Man, it paid off.
Look at that tube. Look at that tube hook in
Oh
there.
my God. You got her. Heck yeah. So after we caught those fish, we took a little bit of a break. We knew the fish were starting to stage more and more. I mean, we were really right at the prime time. They were just coming up onto the beds right then. So we worked our way around, went up into another little cove, and came around to one of the first points within the cove, which seemed to be holding the most fish from we could tell. And there was a giant laying up on a bed, real big bed, right up against a bunch of grass. And boy, we guessed her, wow, she's at least 8 pounds laying up there.
Golly, he's right to get ready to go in there and catch him. Go ahead.
So we spun the boat around, got in a position where we could see out of the wind a little bit, and waited for just the right time. Made one little cast up in there. It was outside the bed, but she immediately reacted to it. So we knew she was a catchable fish.
That's where you're going to want to be. Not that far. You ready? You ready? Got him. Got him. It's a freaking giant, dude. Hope let him have his head, don't That's a come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Yeah! I told you that's a freaking monster, dude. Man, oh man. Thank you. That's my biggest bass ever right there, I'm telling you. Oh. Dude, I'm telling you it's a 10. I'm telling you it's a 10.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you right now, it's a freaking 10. Hold on that sucker, I'm getting camera.
That is a winner. Woo! A sight fishing trip is something I've always really wanted to do. Come down into the South, Texas specifically, and do some sight fishing on some of these big lakes that you just kind of hear about, you know, whether it's Guntersville or Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, Lake Fork, these lakes that have been around a long time and hold this huge population of fish. And being able to time my trip just right, get here when the fish are moving up, and then be able to see those fish. I mean, that's really kind of a fish of a lifetime, to catch a 10-pounder, which is the biggest bass I've ever caught. Be able to do it where I could see the fish, position the boat, make the cast, and then really watch it all unfold right before your eyes, and then get that big fish in the boat was quite an exciting day. So I'd say that's a bucket list fish for me. You know, a 10-pounder is kind of a big landmark, and I've always wanted to catch a 10-pound fish, about 6 pounds, about the biggest bass I'd ever caught before. So that's definitely exciting, and just to see the fish down here, they're so healthy. They look great, the population obviously is strong, and the fishery is very good here on Toledo Bend. Heck yeah, come on.
Oh man, I was so giddy. I was like,
oh my
here
God.
she goes, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. My legs were shaking. I was like, flip it right there.
It's been a great day of sight fishing, and we've proved that when it comes to exciting fishing, sight fishing is one of the most heart-pounding and fun ways to catch fish. Thanks for watching. Remember to follow the Fisherman's Handbook on Facebook, where you'll find the behind-the-scenes tips and tactics. You'll also have a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime fishing trip with Wade to the redfish capital of the world, Venice, Louisiana. So find us on Facebook and click the like button.
That is a winner.
Woo! Holy. Oh, I'm shaking. I didn't even catch it. God, I'm shaking like a freaking leaf.
Heck yeah.
Holy cow.